everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. And this is a second tutorial. My first one I believe was full boxes and half boxes, and I already pulled up my template. This is the template I usually work with when I'm creating a kit, and this is, as you can see, it says ECLP, Erin Condren Life Planner. So I have this all set up where I can just start designing. My second page has all my little functional logo things, or icons. That's the word I'm looking for, icons. Page 3, I have my thick bottom washi, some heart boxes, appointment, bill due, Monday through Friday, all this good stuff. And then our last page, we have all our little washi headers and some other like random little boxes for use. So let's get started here. We already went through the boxes, so the next thing I'm thinking I'm gonna go through would be on this page here, which is our Monday through Sunday box. So let me drag this over here. Okay. So we have our box here, and this is something separate. So I have all my little items, and they're all separated now. So as you can see, I work with layers. We got our cut line is one layer. Actually, so if I was to make this into my kit, I would be separating the cut lines into one layer, and then everything else, my graphics, would be into another layer. And the reason I do this for personal reasons is because I create printables, and if I want to, like this is another kit that I just created. So say I wanted to make this a printable, which I probably will. So I have this kit here, and I want to make a printable. So once I do a printable, I do another page with a PDF, and then I want to transfer all my cut lines over. Well, what's the easiest way to do the cut lines? Well, get rid of your graphics and all this, and then I can just highlight all my cut lines and just copy and paste it over. And then there you go. It saves me so much time by separating everything. And the other reason I do this is because when I print, my printer likes to print these blue lines. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if there's a setting that I'm missing or what. So I always unclick the blue line, I print, and I put it back, and then I go to cut. So let's go back into our page. What page was it? Page 3. Okay, so if you're starting from scratch, you want to create a box. Say this was my box, and I didn't have anything in it. There we go. So this is my bleed line, because it's slightly bigger than the red one, which is the cut line. And I'm going to change this layer to graphics. If you haven't watched my layers video, that kind of goes into layers, a little more detail how to print with layers and how to use it to print foil. How to do your foil. Okay, so excuse me. So we have our Monday through Sunday box here, and I always keep this, and then I never have to do it again. But say something happened and I need to do it again. So the first thing I want to do is do Monday through Sunday. So I'm going to go to my little thing here and click on it. And I want to find a nice clear font that'll be easy to read. Actually, let me go over here. Okay, so I know what I'm looking for, which is chalkboard. Okay. What the heck is going on here? Okay, so we got chalkboard. We're gonna change the size. Don't know what size. Let's go with a 14 and see how that looks. Okay, I'm gonna change it to black, and I don't want any outline because the outline would mean that it's gonna cut. So there we go. Did it print? Where is it? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just gonna do this and then I'll change it later. Okay, so we're gonna do all our letters separate. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of line these up. And then I'm gonna space them out a little. Change those all to black. I'm gonna get rid of the outline. I'm gonna go back over here and choose my font, which is what I was trying to do before and it wasn't cooperating. And then I'm going to change to, let's see, is that about the same size? Yeah, it is the same size. Okay, so that, here we go, we have it all our Monday through Fridays. Now how are we going to create those lines? That's going to be our next thing. But first we want to line these up to fit in the red box. Now the reason we want it to fit in the red box is because that's where it's going to cut. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I'm going to go a little bit closer so I can see better. There we go. Gonna move all these in here. Okay. So I'm going to kind of move this over because that way it'll be a little bit easier to select all these. And I'm going to line them up. The next thing I'm going to do is space them. Now let's see how these fit. They look pretty good. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is create some lines. And to do that, I would go over here. And we're going to use this to create lines. Now, as you can see, I'm moving it and there's like numbers, and when that number onto the left, when it disappears, that means that you're perfectly aligned. And so I'm going to let that go now. Go back to choose my arrow, and I'm going to change this line to black. Actually, no. Yep, I'm going to change it to black. And then I'm going to come here into what says line style. So here we go. I would click onto these little lines right here. And you can choose like a different style, like say you wanted like little dotted lines instead, you could choose that. But we're going with a solid black line. And then I want sharp corners and then I'm going to make it thicker. So let's kind of go with a 0.75. So here we go. We have our nice line. And I'm actually going to shorten that slightly. I'm going to put it like right there. And just like we did with our Monday through Friday, we want some lines. So we're just going to do a replicate. And we're going to do a column 4. We still need a couple more, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. There we go. So we need a few more, but let's get, this will get us started. Right there. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. It looks pretty good. And once you're sure you like the spacing, go ahead and group it. And then if you like how your Monday through Friday is lined up, you can also group that. The other thing you can do is kind of group these together first. Oops. So that way these are kind of together. That way if you have to move them up or down later, it'll be a little bit easier. And then we're going to group that. Okay. So what's our next step? So just like this other one here, pretty similar. We need to create, we're going to put something in this box. So we're going to go with a solid color in this circumstance, but normally you could do like a pattern or whatever else you want. So I'm going to go with this kind of purplish pink. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get rid of that blue line because we don't want it to cut. And so this I would put into a graphics layer, which it already is. This one here would go in a cut line, but it's not. It's in graphics. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to paste it back into my cut line. If it was like right here on the top, I would just drag it over, but since it's like way down, it was like way down there. So Monday through Friday is also, I also keep that in graphics. So what would happen if, say I went to go put this on here, but this one was on top. Just going to kind of show you what it would look like and what you could do to fix that situation if you are using layers. So what I'm doing now is just kind of moving it on top of all the other stuff. Okay. So now this is the very top thing. So what if I want to group these together? Oops! Look at there. It's on top of my Monday through Sunday. So we don't want that. So we're going to click on this and we're going to drag it down. So this is on top. And now we're going to center it. And now we're going to center it again with the red line. And this is also a good time to kind of take a second look at everything. I usually do like kind of a close-up. Now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that this black line needs to be a little thicker. Because I made mine a little thicker, I think, there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup it, and that's going to separate it from these guys here, the Monday through Sunday. And I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to go back over to my lines. And as you can see, it's at 75, and I'm going to turn it up right, I think I'm right there. That looks about good. So now we're going to group them back with these guys here. Now, as you can see in this one here, I had the lines go all the way under, and you can totally do that. Like, if you think that it looks better like this, you could do that. But for this particular one, I'm just going to kind of go off to the side. But it's all about your preference and what you prefer. So now we're going to go back on top, and that looks so much better. It's nice and dark, you can see it. Now I normally, I like more space on top. And actually, and when I do it, I'm going to separate this one more time. And the reason is because I just realized that I like to have an extra line on top of Monday. And I do that because that way I can, because I use whatever you're using this for, you can label it. Like I use it for my son's schedule, so I would label it, with his name. And that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to group my lines. And then I'm going to group these two together. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Okay, so if I center it, it's going to kind of make it a little high. So what I normally do, once I center it, I kind of bring it down a little bit. And then I just kind of make sure it's still even on both sides, which it is. There we go. And then I don't group them. If you want to group it, you totally can. Like if you're just making this for personal use, you don't think you're ever going to want to do a printable to sell on Etsy or anything, you can group this by just going to Object and do the group, and then it's just all together. But I don't, because I want to be able to turn those lines on and off. So, and then we're going to go put this back, and there we go. We got our Monday through Friday box. Now, if I was doing a pattern, and the pattern was kind of a lightish color, or a darker color, and I want to be able to see Monday through Friday a little better, I could also add this other box here. And so let's ungroup this guy here so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So we're going to move him off to the side. I don't need this guy anymore. And we're going to put this on top. And like before, as you can see, it's hidden. So I'm going to highlight him and see where he's sitting. Let's see. He's way, way down here. Okay, so we're going to move him up. Because we want him on top of the other one. There we go. Okay. It's still not. Where is that guy at? Did he get moved? Yes, he did. Somehow that one got moved into the... It got moved into the cut line. So we're going to move him right there because we want him under this guy here. So as you can see, it's just a tiny bit smaller, but it's up to you what size you want it. You could have it like the exact same size as your red box. You could have it a little bit smaller. It's just totally up to you. So I'm going to group all these together. Here we go. And then I want this on top. Because if it wasn't on top, then it doesn't work. Okay. This got moved in the cut lines also, so let's get this back over here. So, if it was under this top, this light box here, you wouldn't be able to see it very well like this. And so you basically want to make sure that that one is on top, like that. And there you go. I hope this is not too confusing, because it is a lot of things with layers too. Because this is just how I do things. Other people may not work with layers. They may not use this the same way I do, but this is what I do. So there you go. So you got your box. You're good to go. So I think we're going to call it quits from there. That was just kind of a lot of information, because explaining both kind of layers, plus how to create lines and everything. So I'm going to call it quits for there for right now. And I hope you will join me for another tutorial. And if you found this useful, please like and subscribe. Leave me any comments, any suggestions, and have a great day.